The Singer ProFinish Serger has the opportunity to not only use 4 threads, it can use 3 threads, but it can also use 2 threads. Now this isn't just a 2-thread like chain stitch or straight stitch, but it's a 2-thread overlock or a 2-thread wrap or rolled hem. What it does is eliminates one of the loopers. So you still need a needle, and for today we are going to be using the right needle. So my left needle has been removed and I'm going to take off that particular thread. So now we're down to 3, 1 needle, and then we need 1 looper. So you always use the lower looper. So for this serger, that will be the yellow one on the far end. So that thread is going to stay. In your accessories that came with the serger, and by the way, if you didn't find them, they are inside this area that comes off for using the free arm, and it was in a small little bag, and it looks like this. So this is what is called a 2-thread converter. So what this will do is actually sit in the upper looper and make the serger think there's thread in it, while helping the lower looper kind of play double duty. So it can do the lower looper and the upper looper as it comes all the way around that entire edge. Set it for a rolled hem with less fabric, and it'll put a nice pretty finish along very dainty fabric. So 2 threads good for lighter weight fabrics, also some decorative work. So if you are doing a decorative thread, you are putting that in your lower looper. You only need 1 because now you just need to match your needle thread to that decorative thread. Kind of fun there. So let's go ahead. Like I said, we've taken out our left needle already. Let's go ahead and take out our upper looper. So that's the pink one. So we'll go ahead and take that one off, and I'll kind of pull it through so we know that that has completely been removed from the serger when we get started here. I'm going to just clip off these little threads and clear everything out. So now I just have 1 needle and 1 looper. So as you look at this small little tool here, you'll notice that on this end, there's a small little nub that fits perfectly into the circle of the upper looper. So to help kind of get in this area, remember you can remove the knife just to kind of help get your fingers in. Push it all the way in and then give it a little spin, and then that way you can kind of see a little bit better. And since my presser foot is up, I am going to lower it down, and now we have a good view of that upper looper eye and the hole. So as you place this, and now right now I do have the lower looper thread, the yellow one, kind of sitting here, and it's probably fine, but I am going to kind of slip it kind of out of the way, maybe even put the thread a little underneath it. We'll just let it dangle down here for a second. So as we place that little circle into the upper looper, it just nicely sits in, not tight or anything or clicks in, but when this comes down, you're going to notice that what you do is you push the spring so it will sit in the eye from the back side on the upper looper. So I'm going to leave the knife up for just a second because I'm going to take a stitch or 2 here, because what you'll get to see is that that thread will now sit where that little area is, and it will lift it over to the needle so it can get a hold of it. So that's still our lower looper coming out, but kind of being guided by that 2-thread converter into the location where that stitch is going to be taken. Let's move the knife back into position, and if you want, you can do the little pull the stitch finger out. That would be for a rolled hem, and let's check out the stitch that a 2-thread setup will look like. So you can see that the yellow thread is playing both sides, coming over that edge so nicely. And again, if you were using a really sheer fabric, this would be a awesome, very delicate stitch to use to finish the edge. Do a rolled hem. If you're going to do a rolled hem, just go ahead and pull that stitch finger out. If you want the stitches a little closer together, shorten the stitch length, and you're also not using up as much thread if you're only doing a 2-thread overlock.